Alright, good evening everybody. Now it's time for another recap show in which I'm now going to recap the top 12 girls' performances. As our 12 girls performed earlier tonight, once again scored on a scale of 1 to 10, and at the end of this video I'm going to give you out my top 5 plus 2 additional wild cards. So you'll find out. So you'll be finding out for sure what they are. And anyways, let's get started with the girls. First up was Tadanisa Wilson, and she sang Only Girl in the World by Rihanna. And Randy did not like the performance as much. He said it was a bit too much towards the original of the song, and so probably not a good start to the evening. So Tadanisa gets 6 out of 10. Then next up after that was Naima Adedapo, and she sang Summertime, which is from George Gershwin's great folk opera of Porgy and Bess. She was doing a good arrangement of it, and it actually sounded pretty good. Of course, I think either Randy or J-Lo had something a little bit, but about, well, Randy was mentioning about Fantasia's version, which happened years ago, but still, that Summertime, that performance of Summertime is still, I think it's still great enough to get Naima into the finalist position. So Naima gets a 9 out of 10 for that, based on what Randy said. Then next up after that was Kendra Chantel, and she performed Impossible, as originally done by Christina Aguilera. The judges actually did like some of it, but since I don't know much about Kendra, I still get Kendra. She's probably not gonna make it through, but I still gave her a good score anyway of 8 out of 10. Then next up after that was Rachel Zavita, and which you all remember Rachel, since she also had previously auditioned back in season 6 of Idol. But of course, back then Rachel was still studying opera then, but somehow she's become more of a pop thing. And Rachel, she sang the song "Criminal" by Fiona Apple, first time Fiona Apple has ever been sung out before, and she tried to make it more of a jazzy-like arrangement, and unfortunately it just didn't work out. But I still but that's okay. I did like Rachel a bit, but I just gave her just a mediocre score of only 5 out of 10. So, fortunately, Rachel really blew it, so she's not going to go through. Sorry to say. And then next up after that was Karen Rodriguez, and she, as you remember her, she first auditioned online through MySpace, and then later auditioned in front of the judges. And Karen, she sang Hero by Mariah Carey, and she actually added some lyrics, translated some lyrics into Spanish too, which kind of even made J-Lo impressed about that. Of course, the Spanish also really would have impressed whoever, since it would also impress J-Lo's husband, Mark Anthony, and also, of course, definitely Mariah's husband, Nick Cannon, which, don't be surprised if Karen Rodriguez also would ever perform on a result show of America's Got Talent sometime in the summer. But anyways, that performance of Hero was very fantastic indeed. Randy did say that the Spanish could be the language of love, and I think that does make sense, because it is a great love song too. So Karen gets a perfect 10, and she's going to go through. Then next up after that was Lauren Turner. I don't know what song she sang, but she actually had some good arrangements, and the judges mostly liked it, but for Lauren, I gave her an 8 out of 10. I know, I didn't vote for her, unfortunately, but she still might make it through, since she could be one of the judges' 3 wildcard picks. I'm not too sure. Then next up after that was Ashthon Jones, and I can't remember what song she sang, and there were some good things about the performance and some bad stuff, but from what the judges said, and I didn't vote for her either, but she too would also become a wild card pick, so based on how it is, but anyways, moving on. Next up after that was Julie Zarilla, and she sang Breakaway, as done by original Idol winner Kelly Clarkson, but unfortunately, that performance did not work out. But I still like Julian. It was just mediocre, but I still gave a reasonable score. So Julie gets 7 out of 10. The next up after that was Haley Reinhart, and she sang Fallen by Alicia Keys. Haley was just alright. I don't know really much about Haley, but she did alright with the song based on what judges said, so only 7 out of 10 for her. But then the next 3 performances those were the best ones of the night, because the next 2 performers were all young. Because next up was a familiar face, remember? Because next up was Thia Megia, which y'all remember Thia. Because if you watch season 4 of America's Got Talent, she made it to the top 48 in the quarterfinals, but she ended up losing in that judge's choice to dancer Arcadian Broad. I'm sure lots of people remember that, especially my good YouTube user friend Mia13, aka Mia Boostrom. So I'm sure Mia might know Thia a bit since Mia was in the same season too. So I'm sure. So Mia, if you're watching, this is also for you. Maybe someday you'll be on Idol too. I would love to see that. But for Thia, she sang Out Here on My Own, which is the Oscar-nominated song from the movie Fame, which was also the very first film to have 2 nominations for Best Original Song because the title track from the same movie won. But Out Here on My Own, Thia really nailed it to really sing that ballad, and it really caused a good thing that really got the crowd going. So Thia Megia gets a perfect 10. Then next up after that was Alaina. I don't know what song she sang, but she really was giving country and rock like a combination together, and that too was also fantastic. Even Steven Tyler especially likes it, and after all, Lauren and Steven really have some connection, bro, particularly from that audition and in Hollywood when Lauren sang I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. That still is in there, but that performance of that song that she sang, as I said, still don't know it. It really worked, and I think Lauren Alaina is definitely going to go to the finals for sure, finalist area for sure. So Lauren Alaina, perfect 10, and the last performance of the night was Pia Toscano, and she sang I'll Stand By You, as originally done by The Pretenders, later covered by Carrie Underwood, but the Pretenders version is still the one I'm familiar with. And for Pia, she stole the show. Because at the end of the song, she really gave the whole crowd and the judges a big standing ovation. Therefore, Pia was the best of the night. And once again, they've saved the best for last. So I definitely think Pia is gonna go through. There is no doubt about that. So Pia Toscano, perfect 10, though I really think she should get an 11 because of how big the standing ovation was for that song. So there you go. So the top 5 girls that I voted for tonight's show are Naima Adedapo, Karen Rodriguez, Thia Megia, Lauren Alaina, and Pia Toscano. And the two wildcards that the judges might pick to send to the finalists are Lauren Turner and also pretty much Ashthon Jones. So, because Ashthon actually had it a little bit better, so someone was a little bit better than Robbie Rosen's performance of Angel last night. So I don't think Robbie's gonna go through, but so I've somehow made Lauren and Ashthon be my 2 wildcard picks. Well, anyway, hope you enjoyed this review. American Idol Result Show is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hope you watch it. I know I will be, and we'll see how the results goes. But anyways, thanks for watching this review, and I'll see you all again next time, in which my next video will be a comparison of 3 different versions of Peter Pan. So stick around for that. But in the meantime, good night, everybody!